Used for fishing, to get marron out of water holes. The Noongas used to come along and pick some of these leaves off here, branches, and take them down to the water hole and bash them with a stone next to the billabong or to the creek. Spread it out to the water. It deoxygenates, takes the oxygen out of the water and slows the marron down. And then they can get in and pick up the marron by hand. Gilgies and marron. But before they leave, they would leave a branch next to the billabong or the stream to alert people who are coming behind them to say that the water's being deoxygenated for a short period of time, for a couple of hours, and then it's okay. Okay, so saltbush. Zamia palm, which hasn't changed for at least 150 million years. We're talking about the Jurassic period. Some children in school, when they actually refer to the Zamia palm, they call it a dinosaur plant because it's around the time of the dinosaurs. The Noongar name is dirigi. Okay, it's a very, very important food source for the Aboriginal people. But the food source is actually in the rhizome in the ground. It's a big bowl. And some people refer to it as the arrowroot plant because it tastes like arrowroot, very high in carbohydrates. And it was used extensively by Aboriginal people. But also, what was interesting was that they used to collect the seeds from the great big pods, the big pineapple pods that used to sort of sprout from time to time. They would collect the seeds, of course, and they had a way of actually treating them. But I'll just go back a little bit about the Europeans when they came here first. And they collected the seeds because they seen the Aboriginals collecting the seeds. And what happened was they got violently sick, violently ill when they eat them. They couldn't work it out. But the Aboriginal people had a very sophisticated way of actually drawing out the poisons out of the seeds. What they would do is they collect them, bury them in the ground for at least 2 weeks. The sands and the soils would leach out the poisons, and then they would lay them on the ground, and then they would dry out, and then they were ready for eating, of course. But when you walk into the forest sometimes, is that the holes that they dug to put in the Zamia palms, they actually left one. And sometimes when you're actually walking through the forest, you'll find a whole group of Zamia palms just growing out of a place. And that was probably a place where the Zamia palm seeds were actually left. Okay? Here, Diane is going to explain a little bit more about the ecology of the Zamia palm. So over to you, mate.
There's a male and a female, and the way to tell that is the males, when they grow, as they get to a certain height and age, they sort of sprout out like that. That's what the males do, and the females sort of just grow it up.
And we've got things like taxandria. If you're familiar with tea tree. Now when the old timers actually came here, when I refer to the old timers, I'm talking about early European settlers, and they would run out of tea in the colony, they would come out, they would actually pick up the taxandria or tea tree and mix it up with the myrrh or the little bit of tea that they had left, and then use it as a tea, and that's how consequently how it got its name, common name tea tree. It smells quite wonderful. The peppermint tree, of course, is another bush tucker plant, but it's more a medicinal plant that the Aboriginal people used to use. They refer to the peppermint tree as the wonnel tree, W-O-N-I-L. Okay, where was the bush tucker or the medicine in this tree? It's actually just in the leaf itself. But when you're actually out sort of looking for wonnel leaves, if you've got a toothache, a sore throat, mouth ulcers, is to find really the fresh ones and to just chew on them briefly. Not to swallow them, but just chew on them and get your saliva mixing up with the eucalyptus oil inside, and then just spit it out. You'll find it very soothing and will sort of help if you've actually got mouth ulcers, sore throats or whatever. Would you like to mention something about these guys?
Yes, I would actually. I also learnt that when the English settlers came, they had really, rotten teeth and that. And when they first saw the Aboriginals' teeth, they said that their teeth was the cleanest teeth that they'd ever seen. And the reason was because they got a bit of charcoal and some pepper leaves and went around the charcoal and chewed on it and then spat it out and rinsed their mouth out with water. And there you go, toothpaste.
To see what a real high conservation value forest looks like before it's logged.